Hello everyone, in this video we will discuss about how to recall and revise, which is very critical from the perspective of UPSC prelims. Any exam, be it prelims, means or even interview, success is entirely based on your recall power. Success in any exam is directly proportional to your recall ability on that particular day within that particular time limit. How fast you and accurately you are able to recall will determine your success or failure in that examination. And your ability to recall is directly related to the number of revisions you have done while your preparation. The more frequent and multiple revision is key to fast and accurate recall. Now we will learn about the art of how to revise. See, revision is very critical for recalling. If you read once, you are doomed to fail in that exam because it is you read once, your wastage of time and energy, plus if you don't revise it again, it creates a mental pressure that you haven't revised and it might come in the examination, or when you see that question in an examination, so it might create a confusion that you have read but you are not able to recall it accurately that what you had read. So it neither helps you in elimination or recalling. So it is better that if you don't read even once, but if you read something, you should read it multiple times. Reading multiple times will help in building your memory layer by layer. This will increase your chances of recalling when the information is required. Also, what matters is that you read from the same source, but you have to read that multiple times, especially in maths subjects such as environment and current affair, where sources are very and many. Zero down your book list and stick to it and revise it multiple times. Basic books such as NCERT have to be revised at least 10 times before your examination. You have to know each and every word mentioned in the NCERT. If some question is asked from that area, you might be able either to answer that question or you might be able to eliminate some of the options given in that question. So this is how multiple revisions will help you. Now coming on to the second aspect of revision, that is you have to frequently revise. The more frequently you revise, there will be less percentage of chances that you forget something. Now we'll understand the significance of frequent revision from this curve of forgetting for newly learned information. If you see that without any revision, if you read some information only once, with the passage of time you will forget the information you have gained, and with the passage of time there is less likely retention of that information. But with each repetition you will increase your chances of retention of the newly learned information. So the more you revise, more will be the retention in your memory, and more easily and accurately you will be able to recall in the examination under pressured circumstances of the exam. Now coming on to how we will be able to revise multiple times and frequently. For this we have to do our revision in an organized or structured sense, and that organization would come from a timetable. You have to sit down and you have to write it down either on pen or paper or on a digital format using Excel sheet, whichever mode you are comfortable in. You have to make a timetable to be able to revise frequently. Now from this timetable you will create two patterns of revision. One is that you will revise 2 times a day after the end of every day, and one would be just beginning of the day. We will look into it further in the video. And second would be, this timetable will help you in organization by helping you organize your revision daily, weekly and monthly. Now let us see how the organized revision would look like. Say for next 15 days you will be reading Indian geography. You will divide these 15 days into 10 days and 5 days. For the first 10 days you will be reading the Indian geography part, and in the last 5 days you will be doing the revision. In the 15 days you have covered the macroscopic weekly targets, and now we'll come on to the daily targets. Now say on day 1 you read chapter 1 to 5 of geography NCERT, plus you read the notes related to those chapters, plus you will do some PYQs or some mock test series questions, or you will do some mapping. You will write your daily targets on a piece of paper or in your Excel sheet, very detailed targets. Now you will revise. As soon as you complete chapter 1 you put a tick mark, so it gives you a sense of completion, and it will work as a feedback and give you motivation to go on further. Now at the end of day 1 you have to revise every target of day 1. At the end of the day, since you're already exhausted, so it would be better to keep 30-40 minutes of the end of the day 1 for your revision. In that 30 to 40 minutes you will revise whatever you have read in day 1. Now on day 2 you will begin day 2 with revision of day 1 targets in 15 to 20 minutes. Since you have read these topics on day 1 and revise them on day 1 itself, so it will take you lesser time to revise on day 2. So it will take hardly 15-20 or maximum 30 minutes to revise day 1 topics. Then you will write the day 2 targets, whatever you have to do, whatever you will be doing on day 2, and at the end of day 2 you will again revise the day 2 targets, and on day 3 you will begin your day 3 by revising targets which you had done on day 2. Now the same cycle has to be repeated for 10 days. Now coming on to the last 5 days of the 15 days which we had devoted for Indian geography. On the last 5 days you will complete the entire targets of last 10 days in 5 days along with daily revision. Say on the first day you will do 10 chapters of NCERTs, plus read the related notes, plus the PYQs and mock test series on the day 1. Now you will revise those daily targets at the end of the day 1, and on day 2, before beginning the targets of day 2, you will revise the targets of day 1. So this is how you will complete the 15-day cycle. Now coming on to the weekly and monthly revision. Now you have to keep 1 day a week and 1 day a month off. On those off days you will not be reading any new stuff. That day will be only devoted to your revision. Say you keep a Sunday or the last day of every month for weekly and monthly revision respectively. Say on a Sunday you take a mock test, you analyze it. Now on the rest of the remaining day, you will revise the targets of previous week, of the previous 6 days, whatever you have read in those previous 6 days, from Monday to Saturday, you will revise on the Sunday. Similarly, say on the 30th of March, you will revise whatever you have read from 1st March to 29th March. Now, in this way, you have done your daily revision, weekly revision, and monthly revision. Now, this revision algorithm can work only and only if you have a certain system of record of daily targets, like either you are writing it on a journal or you are making an Excel sheet. Record of targets can be either online or offline mode. When you have this a record sort or a logbook, it will be very easier to revise either at the end of the day or end of the week or end of the month. If you have no record, no logbook of your targets, it will be very difficult for you to revise. So there has to be a target journal, be it a diary or an Excel sheet. Now, if you follow this algorithm of revisions, revised 7 times. Yes. How? Let us see. Now for the first 10 day, on the day 1 you revise once at the end of the day. On day 2 you revise the targets of day 1 at the beginning of day 2. So for the same topic you have revised 1 and 2 times. Now coming on to the 5 day, which were dedicated for the revision of the entire 10 day targets. So on day 1 you will be revising it 2 times, because once you will be reading the topics and then at the end of day 1 you will be revising it. So 2 times you will do the revision of the same topic, and on the day 2 you will again revise whatever you have read on day 1. So by this you will be completing a 5th revision. Now when you will revise on Sunday the same topics, you will be revising them the 6th time, and when you revise them at the end of the month you will be revising them the 7th time. So by following this algorithm of revision, you will be able to revise multiple times and more frequently, by which you will be able to increase your chances of retention. Hence you will increase your recall power, and thereby you will increase the success rate in the examination. Thank you.